So today we're going to be welding a giant dream catcher, and I'm making it out of a trampoline. Once I weld it, it'll be able to be disassembled into 4 separate parts by bolts. The spiral itself will be made out of rope, which I intend to paint, perhaps even sew together to create a fixed web. Um, Yep, that's the plan. It's been a pretty crazy week. I've been devoting a lot of my attention and resources towards this play and market. The Dreamcatcher will first serve in the market as an art installation and perhaps in a masquerade a little down the line, maybe in February, we'll see. It'll also serve as the end to the play if I ever get to make it. Um, so I've been devoting a lot of my time and resources into this play, the masquerade, and the market. I just bought a computer for this TV screen, which is strictly for the masquerade, and all of this is wonderful. Um, but it's causing me to struggle. I barely made a car payment last month, or yeah, last month now, and I have 3 weeks to come up with another $500-600 to make the next car payment, not including insurance. Um, I'm having to look into different jobs. Starbucks just isn't really paying me what I need in hours. It's causing me to suffer, and I look forward to being a person again with less on my plate. And a lot of that comes with balance, and that's something I still struggle with, is finding balance in all aspects of life. I feel like it makes my relationships suffer quite a great deal because I have a hard time balancing art and life. Um, I feel like what I'm supposed to do is, go to work and come home and have, like, a relationship or a family, and I want that on a level. But my jobs I've always had are pretty miserable, and I yearn to be creative in some aspect, to release that tension and to put my creative ADD obsessive energies somewhere. I have to have an outlet for that, and I wish that I could maybe get a job in a creative field. That's kind of why I want to go to school, is just get a job in a field that allows me to do that for a living, so that I may leave that shit at work, and then maybe I don't have to do anything outside of work. So it's just go to work and come home, and I get my creativity out there, and then I can just be maybe a normal person when I get home that maybe has time for a relationship, that doesn't spend all of their money on art projects, and can actually budget well. And maybe I could put my savings towards things that I actually want to do, like going to a Dragon Con, and having concepts, and going to Europe, and going to I guess, like going to Venice or Ireland, and going on a cruise maybe. Like, I want to be able to have a life where I do things that don't always just involve Greenville, South Carolina. That there needs to be more adventure. There used to be so much adventure in my life. When I was 16, I hitchhiked to Seattle, and when I came back, I was so full of passion. I went for it. I shot for it. And no one could tell me otherwise. I felt like I had seen something. Something real. I felt like I knew something about the way the world worked, and I still feel like that sometimes when I'm doing really well with certain things. And I guess it kind of created in me the motto that if you want to do something, just do it. Start looking into it. Plan for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Like, don't hurt anybody. But, like, if you want to create a ball, create a ball. Start off with, organize it and just make it happen. Don't be scared. Just make it happen. what's the worst thing that could happen, really? So like, keep safety in mind, and try to be good to people, and do what you're passionate about. Um, but I feel like every now and then you need to recharge that, and I feel like I've hit a point where I really want to recharge my batteries. And I love that I live here. I love my life here. I know it's a little town home in a rough part of town, maybe, but like, I love it. I love that it's filled with my creative endeavors, with trinkets from my past, and it's filled with local art from my friends, and the whole thing is just an expression of creativity. Um, and I love that my lifestyle can be so haphazard and spontaneous sometimes. But on the other side of that, it sometimes feels like a museum. On the worst days, it feels like a prison. And um, I guess that's something that everyone has to deal with. Everyone struggles with these kinds of thoughts and problems. Um, so overall, I'm happy. I just wish that I didn't have to struggle so much. I wish that I could find a day job that facilitated my needs to the point that I didn't have to worry about whether or not I was going to pay rent, or my utilities and my car payment, that those would just be taken care of because I make enough money. It'd be even better still if I could find a way to pay my car payment, or I'm sorry, live here alone without a roommate, um, and I could just do what I wanted to do. Um, and I don't feel like those are lofty ideals either. I feel like that's pretty basic stuff. But for someone like me who struggles with ADD and OCD and depression and a lot of anxiety, and it's hard for me to stay focused on certain things, I feel like the 9 to 5 grind is just a lot. And I do tend to flake and spiral. Uh, and I used to try to force myself into that mold. And I guess to a degree I still do. But I've learned to pick jobs that are easier on me. Starbucks will usually keep me on 5 hours a day, which is so much easier than 8. And they usually put me on every other day, which is so much easier because it gives me time to do things like this on my days off. And it makes it to where I'm never really dreading going into work. The problem there is that uh, I don't make enough money. So again, I'm looking into tattoos, and I should start training this week, or I'm sorry, this month, a few weeks from now. And that might potentially be an income that would be creative and could at least fill the gaps, um, where I lack. So, but in the meantime, I still need to find something. So today I'm going to look into Ubering. I need jobs that allow me to be me and work at my own pace, that don't have too much overhead, because I'm a weird person and I don't work well in certain environments, I've been fighting that my whole life. I've been shamed for that my whole life, and I'm learning to just embrace that that's who I am. So I need to work with myself instead of against myself. Um, I'm also uh, I just started Rocky Horror Picture Show rehearsals last night. I have another one on Sunday, so that's going pretty well. She cast me as Rocky this time, which I don't particularly care for. In fact, I feel like out of all the characters she could have put me as, Rocky would have been my last choice. Uh, but I'm looking forward to learning what I can from Rocky, because I feel like every character she puts me in, I learn something from that character, and it's a very deep sort of character study. And even watching the movie now, every time I watch it, I'll notice something else, just a little something extra about a character that I just didn't see before, that kind of sheds new light on the inner workings between these characters. Um, it's just coming a long way from somebody who used to go to Rocky Horror in Raleigh at the Rialto Theater and not even be able to watch the movie, because as soon as I walked in, I would be pushed to the ground by men and women alike, and I'd be making out with everybody, and I'd come home with hickeys at 3 or 4 in the morning, and my dad would get pissed. So from someone who didn't even know the ending of the movie to someone who knows pretty well the nuances and the fine little details between characters, I feel like I've come a long way, and it's taught me a lot about how to read characters and people. Um, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Rocky can teach me. Um,
Okay, Ember, you're going to go out there and do it. It may have made a little bigger this time.